Shimen Junior High students. I'm Stanley Umpad, all the way from the Philippines. If you can remember, I'm Sheena Umpad's brother. So I'm here to share some samples of passages. So here is the third video. This is in between the conversation of Mrs. Tsai and Mrs.Lein. To start with, Mrs. Tsai said, "Good morning," Mrs. Lein replied. "Good morning. It's so hot today, huh?" Mrs. Tsai said, "You bet." Mrs. Lein replied, "What do you plan to do with your kids during the summer vacation?" Mrs. Tsai said, "Maybe go camping for some lakes." "Speaking of lakes, have you kids learned how to swim?" Mrs. Lein replied, "Tommy has, but Larissa hasn't yet. How about yours?" Mrs. Tsai said, "Katie can do the breaststroke, and he wants to learn more swimming styles. As for William, he doesn't care for water very much." Mrs. Lein replied, "Will you get Katie a private coach or let her take any swimming lessons?" Mrs. Tsai said, "Either will be fine. My husband and I are still talking about it." Mrs. Lein replied, "Did you know there's a new public pool next to the library? They have summer camps for kids." Mrs. Tsai said, "Well, it's a little far from here and I can't drive. I like the idea of hiring a coach better, but it will cost a lot of money." Miss Lein replied, "Oh, it takes time to decide what's best for them. By the way, I hear you just got a pool. How is it?" Mrs. Tsai said, "Wonderful. The water gets a little too warm in the day, though. He will plant some shade tree around. Then I'll have you guys over for a dip." Mrs. Lein replied, "Sounds great. The public pool could get pretty crowded. Too many people in the public pool is dangerous for kids." Mrs. Tsai replied, "You're right. So feel free to come over anytime." That's the end of the conversation. And so here's the following questions. So to start with, here's the question number 1. If a place is crowded, what does it mean? Letter A, it is open 24 hours. Letter B, it is full of people. Letter C, it is in the library. Letter D, it is big and comfortable. I'll repeat the choices for you. Letter A, it's open 24 hours. Letter B, it is full of people. Letter C, it is in the library. Or letter D, it is big and comfortable. Number 2, or question number 2. Which is not true? The letter A, there are at least 4 people in William's family. Letter B, one of Mrs. Lein's children knows how to swim. Letter C, Mrs. Tsai drives her kids to swimming lessons. Letter D, Katie can do one swimming style. Repeating the choices for you. Letter A, there are at least 4 people in William's family. Letter B, one of Mrs. Lein's children knows how to swim. Letter C, Mrs. Tsai drives her kids to swimming lessons. Letter D, Katie can do one swimming style. Proceed to question number 3. Which is not true about Mrs. Tsai? Letter A, she is married and has 2 children. Letter B, she is very happy with her new pool. Letter C, her son doesn't know how to swim. Letter D, she lives close to the library. Repeating the choices for question number 3. Letter A, she is married and has 2 children. Letter B, she is very happy with her new pool. Letter C, her son doesn't know how to swim. Letter D, she lives close to the library. That's the end of the questions. Hoping you pick the right answers. You have a good day.